I'm gonna be playing my game today. This is my 4th time recording, but my audio cut off from my first playthrough, but here we go. Let's start. Let me pull up the checklist. Okay. For the main menu, yeah, I think I have most of it memorized, but of course I changed all the the entire area, the aesthetics. Throughout the whole game, there isn't anything from Daisy's Tomb Raider. You saw the logo at the beginning, and there is some music in the background. Oh, actually here, let me restart so you can see the NPCs that I have there. I guess the requirement is a player and either a player or an NPC, but you can see rat NPC, spray cans. Alright, here we go. Let me bring this a little closer so it's easier to see for me. Anyways, yeah, I guess the first thing to show off, here's our main character, Vectra, based off of the word vector, but, yeah. So her ears have the dynamic bone. It's a little hard to tell because I already added some, like, jiggle animation to her, like, base animations when I made them, but there is a dynamic bone at the base of her ears. The HUD works, and then here we have Domo, while walking, jumping. You can also hear the sound effects for the running and the oh, there we go. So when you first get in, I'll be pointing out everything I modeled, which is mostly everything. Yeah, everything in this first scene is stuff that I made. So we need the mayor key. To this guy, he'll tell us we can't touch his poster. But we'll talk to this guy and he'll ask us for help, telling us the Mayor Scratch has been kidnapped. She's supposed to perform her legendary DJ set tonight, and he's been hearing things about a rat infestation in the metro. So it's our mission to save, or at least find Mayor Scratch. So we're taken into the metro. These vending machines are the checkpoints. And we'll be seeing a bunch of these posters floating around. Excuse me. This guy's a little bit traumatized by the rats. Let's see. So these microphones are our life collectibles. And then let's get this checkpoint and talk to this NPC. I like to imagine him having a New Yorker accent. He's gonna tell us if we find him a block of cheese, he'll give us some info. There's a falling sign there, so I won't go there first. Get this checkpoint. So this is after the actual playtest, and I've had some people play through it, and I fixed some parenting issues that were happening. I think I fixed most of them, but we'll see. Ooh, okay. I should have jumped. So this is supposed to be a little guessing game. If you hop on the right one, 2 of them don't have a mesh collider, so you have to guess the right one to jump on, but let's see. Same thing here. It's always going to be the pink one. And then if you go here, let's talk to this rat surrounded by some cheese. There's some cheese. There's just some cheese, but he eats sit right in front of us. And you will get KO'd no matter what you do here. So, I just added that level because I wasn't sure how I was going to get people, or how to, like, make the game 10 minutes long. So I made some of it a little difficult. Some people were struggling to beat it during the playtest. Here you'll see some caution signs. Even though it's a riskier path, you're supposed to take it. So here we go. Swap across these. Yeah, but this is a Fruitiger Metro themed game. So very inspired by some early 2000s aesthetics in general. After him, he's been kidnapped by the rats, and he'll give us the real cheese that we need. Take this extra life as well. And then can talk to this rat. And I think I've showed off 3 of the different music, the songs in here. There's one in the main menu, the one in the city, and then this one, just for level 2. And he repeats some of the dialogue, but he gives us some information that the rats aren't really the bad guys. They're just doing someone's dirty work. She would never get her paws dirty because she's too busy trying to become a good DJ. So he asks us to save them. This is where some parenting issues are happening. I tried to make sure that all of these had a prevent player parenting. But let's see. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Seems to be working now, which is good. And here we can get another life. Some advice I got was to change the color of the collectible since it blends in a lot to the fog and the tracks. But yeah. Probably gonna die here. Oh, no I didn't. Okay. Anyways, so you'll start noticing that there's a lot more posters in this hallway. Let's keep going. Whoa. Ha! Seems like you found me. If you're looking for the mirror, you'll need to get through me. Okay, so I forgot how the timing works for this one, but we'll see how it turns out. Ooh, okay. Before I start this level again, let's see if there's some other things I should check off. Let's see. Audio. Yeah, I think you've seen the KO so far. And the falling KO, the jumps, the running. There's also a victory one. I think you heard when I changed the character. No neck bones since I'm using homework 10 test bed. Excuse me. I already talked about the dynamic bone. There's a particle system inside the city at the beginning, and there's also one at the end. And if I counted correctly, there's at least 5 different interaction components. And a lock from the poster and the cheese. I think some of the components you can see are the constant rotation, move on path, shrink. I'm blanking on the other ones, but I think I've shown them so far. And there have been no error messages. It's not possible for the player to become soft locked unless you jump in the hallways of the subway station. Even though there's a mesh collider, I'm not sure if it's just an issue with the inverted normals of the hallways that you can like jump through the walls even though there's a mesh collider. But you can still, you're still able to progress through the game even if you glitch out. And I fixed all the stretching and warping issues that I saw. And then I'll also show the credits again at the end. So we've gone through the beginning, and we're currently kind of in the middle, or actually towards the end. Because I played this so many times, I can get through it pretty quickly, but most people that play tested it took about like 7 to 10 minutes playing it. Yeah. Yep, got inverted normals. Oh, that's not great. Let's see if this will fix it. Okay. I'll be back when I'll cut this to have me back in the area. But, yeah, let me go through a couple more things. Yeah, the countdown scene we can take a look at. Same thing with the collectibles I mentioned are the microphones, and the game uses black fog instead of orange. Yeah. And I can continue to point out a couple of the environmental objects, but yeah, I think that's everything. Let me just get back to the end, to the final area really quickly. Alright, so we're back, finally. Let's take a look through the dialogue. It's not really important, but this checkpoint. Actually, I should have moved this in my final build, but it does blend in with the background a little bit. Okay, so here we go. Ooh, quickly jump. There we go. Fine. I guess I couldn't stop you. She tells us she just wants to make people happy by being a good DJ, but she's gonna talk to her sister. So, can get this checkpoint and go up these stairs. And here we see our mare. We found her. She was being contained. She'll notice her sister first, Riff. Yeah, so they kind of talk it out. And she thanks us for saving her. So we decide to celebrate by having a party, and of course, Riff and Scratch will be the DJs. So let's head upstairs. Yay! Look at them up there DJing. Here's the other particle system, and there's the victory screen. And then you beat Metromania. So now I can show off some of the, well, let me show off the credits scene first, or the, credits page, just to make sure that's there. It locks me when I'm on my desktop. It was working on other computers that people have played it on. I don't know if it's just an issue with mine, but the credits do work. It might just be my computer. And then I can show some of these. I tried several different things. I just could not get my falling animation to work. Or falling KO animation. I've had this issue since, like, yeah, the beginning of Homework 10. Or Homework 9, I think, actually, with Tofu. I've been having the same issue with the falling animation. But, yeah. Here's our animation. So we can check out the continue, or the retry. A little celebration. Then let me also show off a bit of Domo's animation. Oh man. Yeah. Let's jump off here. you saw before, but there's a little rat in it. There he goes. There we go. And I think those are all the requirements. Let me make sure. No stretching or warping, particle systems, audio, NPCs. We saw the beginning, middle, and end. Oh, I forgot to point out the environmental objects, but I did. The only things that weren't made by me, like models, were the microphone collectibles I got off of Sketchfab and the little DJ booth. Or I made the DJ booth with the little, like, turntable with the things that you spin around, was also from Sketchfab. But yeah, I can just talk a little bit about my process. Oh, this is also an issue that was happening, just having to refresh. Because some things would break, but, yeah. I had a lot of fun doing this. I honestly procrastinated it to the last week. I know we technically had 3 weeks, but I was like, I can get it done in a week, which I did, but at first I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not proficient enough in Unity to be able to do this, but once I got into it, it was really fun. I had a lot of fun making the characters. Probably the most frustrating part about it was weight painting, especially with, like, these characters where they're, like, kind of more smooth, like they're rounder shapes, so, like, the weight painting would get messed up, but, I found a way of just, I wasn't flipping the normals, but flipping something about the mesh that allowed the weight painting to work better, so that helped me get through the animation armatures for Riff and, Riff, which is the villain, and, Scratch, and their names are, like, kind of based off of music. Scratch, Mare Scratch is because you scratch when you're DJing, and she's a cat, and Riff was just more of a music themed name, but I also feel like it fits her character. Vectra, her name's based off of the word vector, and a really prominent thing in this aesthetic of Fritiger Metro is, like, vector art. Oh, whoa. Accidentally scrolled my mouse wheel. But, yeah, you can kind of see it in the logo. I tried to mimic the vector art style, and then some of the stuff on the walls as well. But yeah, also with the colors as well. Yeah, and just the aesthetic overall was really fun to work with. Like, a lot of my artwork is kind of centered in, like, nostalgic, I don't know if aesthetics is the right word, but just very early 2000 aesthetic kind of things. So I hope that's coming across with a lot of these things that you see, like these windows, walls, the color palettes, just, yeah. Other things about my process. I also had a lot of fun illustrating assets for, I don't know if assets is the right word, but, like, illustrating the logo and, illustrating the poster, the missing poster. Yeah, I don't know, I really loved this course overall. Like, I never thought I'd want to be a 3D artist, like, as a job, but now, like, I'm considering it, and I plan to take 2 more courses at Stamps that are 3D modeling based, and one of them specifically for character design, but I feel like this class kind of reawoke something in me. Like, as a child, I loved, like, making all these 3D kind of things, like 3D scenes, finding many things to put in them, so this kind of felt like doing that. So I really enjoyed the experience and the process overall, and yeah, Yeah, I think if I were to have more time, I would probably want to make the characters a little more detailed. You can kind of tell that their textures are just flat material colors, so um, yeah, I don't know, just adding some more designs, getting better at UV editing, since it's a little like complicated, or yeah, it's a little hard for me to understand. But I think if I had more time, I could had more time to sit with it, I could make it happen. But yeah, thank you for watching, and this is a really great class. I don't know who's watching this, but yeah, I hope you play my game, and if you do, you enjoy it. Yay! Thank you.